Hello and welcome back. The standard workflow for a deposit is to first receive it, which was charged when you first created the tenancy, and then return the deposit via the terminate tenancy page here, which will give you options to apply any deductions or make any transfers. Now I'm about to show you each step of the process broken down in case you go outside of that workflow and need to do this process manually. So let's go to the tenant's accounts. Okay, so looking at the tenant's accounts page, there are two parts to managing a deposit. Part 1 is to first receive the deposit, and part 2 is to then return the deposit back to the tenant. But there's a two-step process for each of these parts. So to receive a deposit, I need to charge a deposit manually. I then need to take a payment to receive the funds. So if I charge deposit manually, it's going to put the deposit account due. I then receive the money, and from deposit due, it's going to move the money down to deposit held. Now that brings us on to part number 2, which is I now need to give that money back to the tenant. But in order to do that, I need to use the facility to refund deposit, and that's going to move the money from the deposit held account into the main account. And can you take a guess how I'm now going to give that money back to the tenant? Right, it's simply to make a payment. So you charge deposit, you receive, you then refund deposit, and you make a payment. Right, that's probably a lot to take in, so let me show you how this works in practice. So let's charge deposit manually now. And let's put £1,000. So step 1 of receiving a payment is now done. As you can see, there's £1,000 deposits due. So let's move on to step 2 and take a payment. And for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll just put it straight in the deposit bank account. Now that the payment has been received, let's go back to the accounts page. And as you can see here, we've now completed step 1, which is to receive the funds. The money's now moved from the deposit due into the deposits held. Let's go to the accounts main screen at the top. We're able to see a list of deposits held here. In addition, if we go back to the accounts main screen and then go to chart of accounts, it's also handy to know that you're able to see a list of deposits received and returned either in your client bank account or your virtual deposit account. Okay, so part 1 is now done. Let's go on to the first step of part 2, which is to refund deposit. Now let's go to the tenant's account. And if we scroll down the page, we'll find the function to refund deposit. So as you can see, there's now £1,000 sitting in the tenant's main account. You may want to apply any charges or make any transfers before finally using the make a payment function found here, where you would then make a payment from your bank or the virtual deposit account back to the tenant.